So we all know that Messi could conquer England and score on a cold, rainy night in Stoke. But could a teenage Messi have done it in Scotland? Andrés Iniesta scored a goal to win Spain the World Cup. But could he have scored in the old firm? Today we're looking at two of the most surprising pieces of business that weren't, and thanking our lucky stars that they didn't happen. Hi, I'm Dan Hilton, and this is the Barcelona Podcast, YouTube exclusive. Okay, so this story isn't very long, but it is pretty wild. It's a tale that involves Barcelona, Frank Rijkaard, Messi, Iniesta, Rangers, and championship manager. The greatest amount of credit goes to Graham Hunter for this story, as he wrote about it first in his book, The Making of the Greatest Team in the World, and got the full scoop on his podcast, The Big Interview with Graham Hunter, back in 2017. Our story begins, however, in the early 2000s, with recent Scotland manager Alex McLeish, who played for Alex Ferguson when the legend was managing Aberdeen, tried to manage with some of those same ideas to much less success, though he did beat Arsenal for a trophy with Birmingham City. As manager of Rangers at the time, Alex McLeish was tipped off to a 13 or 14-year-old Argentine player with great potential by his son John, who was playing championship manager. McLeish initially dismissed it, but after Barry Ferguson left for Blackburn in 2003, there was an opening in an attacking midfield spot for Rangers. Barcelona immediately said no to the sale of their young Argentine. It was Rangers assistant Jan Wouters who called up Frank Rijkaard's right-hand man, Henk, who gave the answer that Messi was not available at all, but maybe Andrés Iniesta, still a teenager himself at the time, might be available. By the weekend, Rijkaard was forced to make a decision: give the Spanish midfielder a chance with the first team or send him out on loan. So he gave Iniesta an opportunity in a preseason game against Juventus, where he shined, and he made 9 appearances for the first team that season, 17 the next, and became a regular in the 2004-05 season. Iniesta would have joined 20-year-old Mikel Arteta, who left La Masia for Scotland the previous season. Arteta was 2 years older than Iniesta, and he was able to use his 2 seasons at Ibrox Stadium to get back to Spain with Real Sociedad, before finally finding his footing with Everton and Arsenal to conclude his career. If Iniesta had made the move, he would have joined former Barcelona midfielder Ronald de Boer and Arteta in a team that was coming off winning the domestic double. A teenage Iniesta may have helped a Rangers team that finished second in the 2003-04 season, 17 points off winners Celtic, failing to make the finals of the Scottish Cup and the League Cup, and crashed out of the Champions League group stage, losing 4 of their 6 matches, including 2 to Manchester United. Since then, Rangers continued to battle Celtic for Scottish superiority and contest the old firm. But in 2011-12, the club entered administration and were put in the 4th tier. 3 promotions in 4 years got them back to the first division by the 2016-17 season, though they have yet to overtake their rival for the title since their return. This all got me thinking about what loans do for certain players and the challenges that some loans provide. Take all the players that will either be arriving or returning for next season. Francisco Trincao, Mateus Fernandes, and Pedri are done deals, but it wasn't time for them to come to Barcelona right away. Marc Cucurella at Getafe, Rafinha at Celta de Vigo, Oriol Busquets at Svent, Jean-Claude Todibo at Schalke, Felipe Coutinho at Bayern Munich, Carlos Alenya at Real Betis, and Moussa Wagué at Nice, and technically Juan Miranda for another year at Schalke. All these players left for more playing time. Cucurella, Rafinha, and Alenya stayed in Spain, Wagué went to France, Coutinho, Todibo, and Miranda to Germany, and Oriol Busquets to the Netherlands. Every country representing different challenges and different leagues in each situation have had varying success. For Alenya, will we look back at his brief loan to Betis as a launching pad that propels him into the next phase of his career at Barca? Was the move to Twente for Oriol Busquets the right choice? A move that has coincided with him getting regularly shifted back to the centre-back position? Just like if Iniesta had gone to Scotland back in the day, hindsight makes clubs look like geniuses or completely inept. Messi was never leaving. But hey, you can't blame them for asking. Iniesta, though, that was a little bit closer to happening than anybody's comfortable with. It's hard to imagine that a loan to Rangers would have made Iniesta's career any better than it was, but a lot surely could have gone wrong. I'm glad to know that Vissel Kobe is the only other club jersey that I've had to see the legendary midfielder in. I hope you liked today's video. Don't forget to check out this week's podcast up near my head, and make sure that you give us a like and subscribe. And as always, until next time, stay safe and Forza Barca.